upon a time there was light in my life, but now there's only love in the dark. Nothing I can say, a total eclipse of the heart.
But then there was the release. So I still don't entirely know why, but yesterday I had this alert that I should contact Crystal. And I did, and we weren't able to catch up the other day, but we were able to catch up today. And I told her about some things that were going on and things that I'd noticed in relation to my relations. And she pointed me to an exercise on how to spiritually release at an energy level someone from your life that was a deep connection. And I feel like I've tried everything that I can try. I've said all that I can say. And I think I've done all that I can do to hold it or try to make it work. And it's just not. So I took her advice and I went through the process of spiritually releasing it so that she can go on with her life and do what she needs to do, and I can hopefully do the same. The act itself wasn't terribly involved or complicated or, even beyond what I might think of on a common sense level. But the impact, fuck, that hurt. It still does. I feel like I ripped out a good chunk of my heart. And I don't know what comes next. And I love that. It hurts like hell, but I love that. So I think the next couple days are just going to be breathing. Meditating, going inward, and setting my intentions, getting feedback on what's next, where the other pains that need healing. Just take it from there. I'm really hurting right now. And if it wasn't for having a big meeting and having to get the kids to their trek-out camp tomorrow, or having to look after the kids at all, this probably would have been one of those nights where I just went to the bar and got destroyed. Because I really don't want to feel this. I am, and it hurts like hell. But I don't want to feel this. If I could make this go away, I absolutely would. when I can't do that and take care of my responsibilities. So I'm just going to hurt for now and do what I have to do for now and find a way to keep going and see what's next, see what's on the horizon. I've got so many questions now. It's insane. I'm pretty much done seeking the answers myself. If the universe sees fit to give me an answer, great. But I'm all out of the investigative business, at least personally. Professionally, I imagine I'll be in it for quite some time. No. Stay low and let the energy come to me. We'll see if that happens. Have a good day. God bless. Hey everyone, day 36. I'm sure all of you know we just had the solar eclipse earlier today. And I hope you'll pardon me a very bad pun, but it actually really kind of fits the last 24 hours. I kind of call it a total eclipse of the heart. Please, I'm not going to play the song. But I've been feeling some kind of way about the relationship that I had. And we had attempted to be friends. Because, frankly, beyond being a lover and a companion, she was also my best friend. I had to come to grips with the fact that there was no contact with her that didn't just renew the pain over and over again. And despite trying and despite wanting her to be happy, I couldn't take part in her stories of her new boyfriend and be happy for her. Those conversations, I seethed, I burned on the inside, and that's not a friendship. Um, in some ways, it's kind of a possessive stalker. Um, I said, I have to be honest with you. I love you, but I can't be with you. I can't be this in friendship, at least not right now. Um, and so I talked with a good friend, and she told me about the process of releasing someone in an energetic sense, in a spiritual sense, and walk me through the process of that. I was really conflicted, because the connection that I have with her, with my ex, is one that it's more than one lifetime. I'll leave it at that. And I feared that even if things weren't to be in this life, that it might impact whatever we might have in a future or in a past. And I think I could accept not having her, but her finding happiness in this life, to say that we would cut for all time was a step further than I was prepared to take. And so I meditated on it, and the answer that I heard was If and when the time is right, nothing will bar you. By all rights, we should never have gotten together the first time. So, if and when the time is right for it to be reunited, for us to pass beyond a twin flame and into something more akin to a soulmate, nothing will bar us from that, save ourselves. And so, as I thought through it and said, how can I best love her and leave her free to do what she needed to do, to find her peace and her joy as she goes through her own journey of transformation? And how best can I love myself without repeatedly putting myself into the fire just to be close to her? And just growing in hurt. And so I decided the best thing to do was to go ahead and do the release. And it hurt like hell. It hurt like hell. It felt like ripping half of my heart out. I don't know how to put this, but this hurt even worse than my divorce. This was probably one of the deepest soul pains I have ever felt in my life. Quite possibly the deepest. But I did it. And immediately afterwards, I wanted anything that could take the pain away. I would have drank through a couple of liquor stores, smoked every cigarette in the state of North Carolina, done whatever drug you could imagine, eaten a whole grocery store's worth of food, anything to get rid of that pain. And in that regard, it was, I guess, fortunate that I have my boys, because leaving the house was not an option. And I didn't have any liquor, and I only had a single pack of cigarettes, and I don't have any drugs. And there's only so much food. And so it forced me to sit with the pain, to be with the pain, to ride it out. And that was 2 hours of hell, let me tell you. And eventually I made it to sleep. I woke up the next day and I got a message from her. And we talked briefly. And I told her, I said, if we're not to be together now, so be it. But I can't pretend that I can be a real friend to you without cutting myself open every single time we talk. I can't be genuinely happy for you when hearing about the details of your happiness brings my pain. And I don't want to be a block to her finding happiness. and we shared our hearts. We shared our love. And then we shared our goodbyes. And the pain came back, but not as strong as it was the night before. And I meditated again because I needed to connect to find out what all this was for. I needed to understand why this went about the way that it did. And why it was so ugly in closing. I got two answers. The first was from a still, small voice. And it said to me, "You are finally ready now." And blinking back tears, I wanted to curse. I said, "Ready for what?" And it said, "Ready to grow your heart and share it." And then it went on to tell me that the reason this twin flame came to be and was as strong as it was, both in coming and in leaving, was that I had to finally reach a part where my love for someone else was greater than my desire for us to be together. And that my love for me was greater than my desire for us to be together. And it took me taking that step with the understanding and with the rationale that I was at least halfway doing it for me. Because I couldn't progress like that. I can't grow like that. I couldn't continue or complete my journey like that, holding on to that kind of pain. So that was the first answer. And the second was a video that was shared in the community that was so perfectly on time. It was ridiculous. I mean, this was Zeus handing me a YouTube video at exactly the right moment. And it was a video on twin flames versus soulmates in spiritual relationships. I apologize. I don't remember who shared it. I know the individual who made the video is one of the speakers that Kyle is going to bring to the next event, or have speak at the next event. Unfortunately, I can't remember his name either. But it was outstanding. And it was right on time. And it gave me exactly the perspective I needed to understand why it had to be the way it was. Because if it was anything less powerful, anything less strong, it would not have had the effect of, one, lasting long enough for me to love me to that level. And two, me having that depth of love to be able to love her beyond just the desire of having her in my life. So, in that regard, we served as twin flame for each other. And we reached the point where our contract, at least for now, was fulfilled. And so it was time to let that butterfly fly on. And me as well. And with any good fortune or divine intervention, we may fly together once more. For now, she needs to fly her way. I need to fly mine. And it took enough value for each of us to be able to get there. Somehow it took loving her that much and loving me that much to tackle, to block, to eclipse loving us. I won't pretend it doesn't hurt. It still hurts like hell. Not as bad as it did last night and not as bad as it did this morning, but it still hurts like hell. But interestingly enough, as I spend time in it, as I sit in it, as I come to understand it, that ripped away part of my heart is filling in. And I'm finding that what I give away comes back, as opposed to just what is torn away. And that's encouraging. That's encouraging. Okay, so that's all I have to share for today. Again, there will be more questions. Hopefully, there'll be more answers. And I hope you have a great day. God bless.